It was aces versus kings. Farber knocks out McLaughlin right now. Mark Etienne, our 7th place finisher. Our 6th place finisher is with Kara Scott.
Mark Etienne had some really difficult pots here today that did not go your way. You got very unlucky in some of them as well. But talk to me about having to run kings into aces in the biggest moment of your poker career.
I'm disappointed for sure. Sometimes you cannot do anything. You play the best you could, and the card don't go your way. I'm pretty happy of how I play, and I would play the same if I had to play again.
You had an amazing rail behind you, clearly. I mean, they're up there, they're behind us. They've been chanting and screaming. So is there anything that you would like to say to them?
Yeah, thank you very much. They are, you guys are amazing, having a fun time, and yeah, it's been a good time.
And we lose our French-Canadian here from the final table.
Congratulations to Mark Etienne McLaughlin. He could not bring home bracelet number 11 of this 2013 Las Vegas World Series of Poker, but a fine performance indeed. We take a look at our Wild Turkey final table payouts. McLaughlin with $1.6 million. Now a pretty good pay jump, over $500,000. 5th place worth $2.1 million. Up to almost $2.8 million, but of course $8.3 million to be awarded to our champion tomorrow night, beginning at 9 Eastern on ESPN. And you'll look at the chip count of Jay Farber, the only real amateur amongst this very talented group, but still a very good player himself. Okay. Almost 95 million.
That's the name
chips.
Of this color, huh? That's cute. That's real cute.
He is laying a tattoo on this championship table so far. Well, we don't have Mark Etienne to raise pre-flop anymore to 1.6 million. So
love seeing aces versus kings. That made him another $500,000 as he moved up one spot.
He the short stack. Reese will take it with the raise. Ace-8 off suit.
I have not picked up a pair this whole
That was actually really good for Reese because the super aggressive great player 2 to his left is now knocked out, and all the chips go to Jay Farber with less experience on his right. So it's very good for him.
All right, well, Jay Farber certainly seems to have prepared very well for this championship table. He talked to us exactly about how he did prepare for this table.
I've watched every episode actually, and you know, the coverage is great. I learned a little bit about some of the players just watching the way they play hands, but I don't think anybody's going to play the exact same they did, you know, throughout the first 7 days of this tournament. Everybody's been getting coaching and studying and practicing, so everyone's going to play, you know, a little bit differently. It's going to be about adapting.
Well, I watch every episode too, Lon, and I don't learn anything. But Jay's smarter than I am, and again, it's just amazing to me. 6,300 we start with. We're down to 5. And the top 3 chip stacks, Farber, Reese, and Loosely, in their first main event each.
I talked to J.C. Tran about Farber and whether or not he might feel like he's over his head at this championship table. And Tran thought, well, ignorance might be bliss. They have bought all in for $7.8 million.
And he's all in over the top of Farber. Farber opened the pot, so this is not one of his just random small blind all-ins. I think he has to have something relatively significant because Farber has so many chips he can warrant a call with a much looser range.
How about wins it? King-Queen suited. King-4 suited for Farber goes into the muck.
And Amir going all in there with less than 8 big blinds left. Very similar position that he was in on day 7 when we were at 100,000, 200,000. He only had 1.7 million left. He went all in with an ace-jack, got lucky against pocket kings to double up, and that led him on a great rush, and that led him to here.
11 minutes left in this level, then it does go up to $500,000, 1 million blinds.
And I suspect we're going to lose 2 people in the 501 million level at a minimum.
And the ante goes up as well. Price of poker getting very, very expensive, particularly for those 3 short stacks. Reese with a raise to 1.7, suddenly finding himself in 2nd place, way, way behind the chip leader. And Reese will take it.
Loosely with a wardrobe change?
I think he just took off the outer jacket.
There's definitely some movement in his wardrobe.
If he's a little warm, I know this might seem obvious, but I might remove the scarf.
The scarf stays.
He cuts a great look at the table. I mean, I don't like the sunglasses, but the sunglasses, the scarf, and now the white Superman cape. It's a great look.
All right, five-handed now. Here's what you can expect. First player to act, just 2 spots from the button. Re-raising pre-flop, now even more relevant. And players have been starting to figure each other out. And Tran has moved all in. And he got a call from Farber.
Wow, a quick call.
Yep. J.C. Tran at risk. JC with an ace, a 7 again. Farber with king queen. So the chip leader to begin this championship table is at risk, technically ahead, but Farber with 2 very live cards.
Yeah, JC's going to move in with the ace, and then Farber only having to risk 10% of his big stack with the 2 big cards. Pretty easy call for him.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a call. And sometimes he hasn't dominated, so.
Farber with a chance to go back-to-back knockouts. Already has half the chips in play. Has J.C. Tran at risk, but it's Farber who's needing to improve here. Tran looking for his ace 7 to hold. Both cheering sections and most of the Penn and Teller Theater on their feet. And there is a king.
That's about the worst flop that J.C. Tran can see.
King 9 jack. Top pair. A straight draw for Farber. Tran suddenly way behind now.
He's in tough shape. He still can get a runner-runner flush. He can get a runner-runner straight. But you can see the percentages. J.C. Tran 1 foot out the door.
2 cards to come. Right now, ace is his best hope. Still is J.C. Tran, perhaps with 1 card left in his main event in 2013.
Wow, it's so brutal standing there with 2 outs, 3 outs, 1 card to come.
J.C. Tran came in as the chip leader, the acknowledged best player at the table, and now he needs a poker miracle, else he's knocked out. He needs the 1 of 3 aces.
And now the river card, the 6 of hearts will close it out. J.C. Tran, the one so many people anointed already as the world champion before this championship table played out. But the game of poker plays no favorites. Tran's fall from the top stack is complete. 5th place. He earns over $2.1 million. His wife, all of his supporters, disappointed that Tran could not close the deal. Of course, expecting their baby in just about 1 week.
JC never got anything started today. Card dead most of the day.
He was talking just before this hand to Jay Farber, who's now over 100 million chips. He says, I haven't seen a pair all day long. He was bemoaning the fact that, just as we thought, card dead, and J.C. Tran makes his exit.
I mean, you could be the best player in the world. If you don't catch some cards once in a while, you're not going to win a tournament.
Jay Farber continues to outmuscle this final table. We are now down to just 4 with J.C. Tran's sudden exit. Coming off 2 stunning knockouts, the 3rd biggest stack to start the table, McLaughlin, and then the chip leader, J.C. Tran, is gone. And right now, our 5th place finisher is down with Kara Scott.
JC came in as the favorite, but you didn't seem to get your fair share of big hands here at this final table. So give us your reactions on this exit.
Well, you know, I had a game plan. I came in. I didn't expect to catch 0 pairs and ace king once. And, you know, a couple of times I picked up ace queen in really tough spots. But you know, it's one of these games where you got to catch your hands, and you know, and if you don't, you're in a lot of tough spots. And I mean, I got it in good. I got it in the head on the last hand, but you know, those are the ones you do need to win. And I don't know, it's tough. I mean, you know, you come into the chip lead, you know, you expect to do things a certain way, and then you know the cards are not allowing you, and you know, it's really disappointing. But you know what? I'll be back. I really feel like I'll be back. And like I said, there's the bigger and better things this month for me. And you know what? I appreciate all the support that everyone, you know, has given me. So
I wouldn't be surprised to see you doing another deep back-to-back run here at the main event next year. So we'll be keeping our eyes open for you. And I'm sure you're going to be spending some time with family now. Yeah, absolutely. And you know, a lot of people came out here and you know, they support me. And you know, I do apologize for not you know, finishing better than that, but you know, this is part of poker, and you just gotta take the best of it and move on. And you know, this is extra experience that I learned, and next year, if I get back in this position, I definitely would do a lot better. It's over $2 million for JC Tran, out in 5th place.
Kind of man JC is, and he told us that no matter where he finished, whether it was last or first, it was not going to be the best thing that happened to him in November with his baby due next week. And that's just the kind of guy he is.
Well, I feel bad for him, and you could hear the disappointment in his voice. Poor guy. I mean, not poor guy. He picked up $2 million, but I understand the pain when you get so close and you don't close it out. And I think that most players that get to this final table realize it's probably going to be their only chance their whole entire life to bring it in for a close. So I can understand from JC going to the final table as a chip leader, going out in 5th is incredibly disappointing.
And only 2 players have scored knockouts at this championship table. Farber with 3 knockouts with an overwhelming chip lead right now. And Ryan Reese with 2 knockouts in 2nd place. And then you've got the 2 guys who are just trying to hang on, the short stacks lose league and Lehavat. And this is as big a divide as I can remember, Norman.
It is, and it's you got 2 cats, and Farber's one of them. And you got 2 mice, and the mice hope the cats don't eat them.
Oh boy, Lehavat all in for 11.1 million after Reese raised it up to 1.7.
He's got the all-in drill down. Yet to be called on any of these.
There's $1 million difference for 3rd and 4th. I'm sure that Loosely and Lehavat are definitely taking that into consideration.
Well, they all just got a raise of $686,000 approximately. And a call from Reese. Lehavat seemed to have the best of it, judging by Reese's reaction. Jacks for Lehavat, so we can say goodbye to Amir Lehavat.
This is so big for Loosely.
Yeah. Ace-6 for Reese, and he'll need to catch that ace as Lehavat will go over to his rail. Need the big advantage right now to double up. Of course, we joke about jacks, but you love to have jacks in this situation.
And Amir's needed a double up. He's gone in all in 4 or 5 times without being called. He's got 13 big blinds left. If this can hold up, it puts him to 22 million, and he's back over 25 big blinds.
And would be his first pot won at Showdown. Amir has not won a pot at Showdown tonight. An amazing statistic. Here's the flop. No ace. So Amir's still good with the jacks against Ryan Reese.
Deuce, 4, 7, 6, ace.
Let's see a 4 make it interesting. Let's have a little fun.
Teasing with the straight draw there on the flop.
Amir doesn't want to see interesting.
No.
You want to see interesting?
He wants to see 23 million chips in front of him. His job is done as he waits another 10.
That's an interesting card for Amir. He knows there's no danger in that card, and now he can only be leaving us if an ace hits the river.
Amir Lehavat at risk, needs to avoid an ace on the river. Reese looking to get us 3-handed. Loosely would love to move up the pay ladder. He's looking for an ace.
He is definitely looking for an ace. More than Reese, probably.
One card to come. It's the 7 of clubs, and Amir Leavitt wins his first pot at Showdown. It's a critical one here. Four-handed, he doubles with the jacks and 10s.
Well, as it did on day 7, we'll see if this double up can spur Amir Leavitt to greater heights.
Tel Aviv is going crazy, ladies and gentlemen.
So 23.4 million chips, only 12% of the chips in play, but it keeps Leavitt in the game.
A lot of pressure on Loosely now.
Boy, isn't that true? We're coming up on the change of blinds very shortly, I would think. And Reese gives up 17% of his stack, drops further behind Farber, who has physically now separated himself from the rest of the table.
And that was actually really good for Farber. He'd much rather have the chips spread out between his 3 opponents and have the huge chip lead over them instead of one other opponent with all the chips.
Reese.
Raise from Reese.
1.7.
Amir folds. And now Jay Farber with almost 104 million chips, four-handed. Who'd have thunk? Caught a river card on day 7 to stay alive.
I used to tip that guy to get me a table. I mean, what is going on here?
Tables are turned on you, sir.
Yeah, he won't even take your calls now, Antonio. What is going on?
Usually folds and Reese will take it. Yeah, I think we might have to get Jay's protege in to run that business now. I'm not sure he's going to be available for any calls. Greg Merson went on to win the World Championship when he led.
Lon, what do you do? I know you made it down to four-handed play at the WSOP circuit in Lake Tahoe. Four-handed play, how do you adjust?
That was the best needle tonight, Norman.
Wow.
The best one so far. Farber has more chips than all of his opponents combined. That is what you call an advantage if you know how to move your chips accordingly. I think the best thing that'll happen for Farber is taking the break tonight when they get to 2 or 3-handed, so he can have some more in-depth short-handed coaching from him.
Oh, he might just want to keep going, coach. Put me in. Oh, boy. So there you go. I don't just call the final table, baby. I make the final table.
You know, that is amazing.
Amazing what?
The best. Well, I mean, first of all, to be honest with you, you know, if you can cash in final table a World Series circuit event, my goodness, there might be a McCarron effect that's as big as the moneymaker effect. How are other people not flooding into poker rooms now?
Yeah, the circuit people are going to be overwhelmed with the next crowd. Four-handed, I know what four-handed is all about, but I'll let you take this one, Antonio.
Well, you don't see much folding. I mean,
oh really?
You shouldn't. And I think also it's really important to realize how big the pay jumps are moving from spot to spot. The difference between 4th and 3rd is $1 million, and from 2nd to 3rd is even a lot more. And so I think that all
1.4 million.
You know, that's a lot of money.
Farber now, the man busy. The blinds now have gone up to $500,000 and 1 million. The ante 150,000. So Farber with a min raise plus. But folds. Good fold from Amir. And Farber just keeps rolling. Big stack, getting some good hands.
And let me just mention again the resilience of these final 4 players. Jay Farber on day 7, the first couple of levels, first 4 hours was card dead. barely played a pot. He was down to about 20 big blinds, and he hung on. Ryan Reese was down to 10 big blinds on day 7. Amir Levo was down to 8.5 big blinds on day 7. Sylvain Loosely is the only one who was never in big trouble on day 7. He actually was a chip leader at some point. But just an incredibly resilient group, and we've seen how resilient Loosely is today.
We saw 4 hours of play at six-handed, and that tells a lot of the story as well that you are trumpeting right there. The resiliency of these players, the ability to stay out of trouble, the intelligence to know when to get out of a hand, to allow them to keep their chips. It has been quite the interesting championship table.
High-level play. Loosely just needs to hire a chip assistant to handle raises for him.
That has been a problem. And Farber will take it down with 9-4.
That's you know, just another added advantage when you have the big stack. People don't really want to play against you. And even though these guys don't perceive Jay Farber as the best player on the table, he has a massive stack, and so they're less likely to attack him, and so he just got to walk in the big blind.
And the Canadians are gone, so no chant.
Is that better? You block him, Steve. Really? I'll do it again. Just tell me if it's better. No. That has to be good.
Farber now has the small blind.
You see the great and active local rail behind Jay Farber there of all his friends. He's also happy as though that his father flew in from the East Coast and is here to watch this.
Lee gets the walk. Now, should they be just indiscriminately raising? I mean,
if I was Farber there, I think I would definitely bring it in for a little bit of a raise, because Loosely can't proceed with just a call. I think that Loosely really has to have something to ship it, given Jay's stack size. And so, you know, I think I would have brought him in for a raise.
Hold it to Farber. He gives up the button to the blinds now. The short stack still on Loosely under 10 million.
All in.
All in. And it's all in the middle now. And a call from Ryan Reese. Let's see the cards.
Ace-10 versus Queen-7.
Ace-10 versus Queen-7. And Reese has the best of it. Loosely at risk and way behind. Ryan Reese trying to make up some ground on Jay Farber by knocking out Sylvain Loosely.
Let's go, baby.
The blinds just went up. Loosely under 10 big blinds. Pushed with the queen. And now he's got to get lucky.
Ryan Reese tried to score his third knockout. Amongst the sea of the Reese the Beast t-shirts. Loosely does have 2 live cards, but behind right now. 8-9 king. There's some backdoor straight possibilities for Loosely, but nothing paired up there.
Man, it's difficult to make a pair. It's really hard in Hold'em. Loosely is on the ropes.
Everyone has exited the scene. We'll just leave the most important man, the dealer, at the table. An odd scene.
Everybody's in their corner.
Another 9. And so you see the outs for Sylvain Loosely.
Loosely trying to become the first player from France to win the main event title. But he is now down to his potentially last card. 6 outs. Loosely's going to need a queen or a 7. Or he's done.
The river card, the ace of diamonds. Ryan Reese completes the knockout. Sylvain Loosely came in with very little live poker experience, but the Frenchman transferred his impressive online skills into a $3.7 million payday and 4th place, the 2013 main event. Nearly $2.8 million, I want to correct that. the Beast scores his third knockout. We're down to three-handed. We're going to play the heads up tonight. And Ryan Reese now with over 64 million chips, as Sylvain Loosely cannot bring the magic. And we are three-handed at the Penn & Teller Theater. Back in Las Vegas, the 2013 World Series of Poker final table. Ryan Reese, the Beast, among the sea of his supporters, scores the knockout of Sylvain Loosely. Loosely out in fourth place, wins almost $2.8 million. He's with Kara Scott.
Sylvain, we spoke a few days ago. You said poker for you was about freedom. So talk to me about what this finish at this big final table means for your career.
It's just the greatest achievement in my career, definitely, even if I finish fourth. I'm really proud about the way I played tonight. I don't think I could play any better. I just didn't have any big setup against anybody else, so I just played my game, and I think I did my best tonight, so I'm not too disappointed.
You had an amazing rail, but you also had pretty much all of France watching you. So what was that like, knowing that they were all behind you?
Sorry?
What was it like knowing they were all behind you?
Yeah, it was great. I knew I had to play my best game, my best poker tonight, just to make them proud and try to represent France as well as I could.
And so you did. Sylvain Loosely is out here in fourth place.
Well done by the Frenchman, and it leaves a huge stack, a big stack and a small stack, three-handed.
Well, first of all, just great French results the last 5 main events. Antoine Sou, third in 2009. Gail Bowman just missing the final table, 10th in 2012, and now Sylvain Loosely, 4th in 2013.
And then 150.
And now we have these three unusual stacks. You know, we have the youngest guy at this final table, the oldest guy at this final table, Reese and Leovoet, and then the unlikely VIP club host who is making his way to becoming the biggest VIP in Las Vegas himself.
Ryan Reese, 23 years old, the Beast, sitting on 64 million chips. He has scored 3 knockouts. Amir Leovoet, he's the oldest player with 21.3 million chips. And then the biggest stack of all, 105 million chips, Jay Farber.
And Leovoet just, you know, just a little while ago was in last position with 6 people left, and now 3 people have all of a sudden busted out of nowhere. And he's picked up an extra couple of $1 million.
Re-raise all in.
Oh, wow.
All in and a call. That was very quick from Reese. Reese has got him. 10s against Leovoet, 7s. Back to back.
Better to run good than play good, and Brian Reese has played well and run well.
And if his 10s hold up, we have a very interesting match heads up between Farber and Reese, who has less chips but a lot more experience than Farber.
Ryan Reese picks up another big hand. Amir Leovoet had really little choice but to go with the 7s. And now we are this close to being heads up between Reese and Farber, which would happen tomorrow on ESPN beginning at 9 Eastern. And Farber, as he stands by, witnessed a chance to move up the pay ladder.
Reese the Beast has been the Terminator tonight. How many knockouts would this be for him at this final table?
It would be 4. Both Farber and Reese have 3 right now. And here is the flop. Queen 4-8. No threat to Reese there.
Amir Leovoet. His best shot is a 7. He still could get runner straight. But he's looking for that 7, that lucky 7 to stick around.
And Farber and his group looking to be a heads-up combatant tomorrow night on ESPN, a deuce of diamonds. And now Amir Leovoet down to one last opportunity.
The 23-year-old Reese again with the upper hand. Jay Farber wondering if he's about to go heads up against the 23-year-old. And 38-year-old Amir Lehovot waiting for hopefully a 2-outer. He needs a 7, or we're heads up at the main event final table.
And the river card, the jack of diamonds, and that will do it. Reese scores his 4th knockout of this championship table. Amir Lehovot, the elder statesman, coming into the final table. And he has shown time and time again his career change was a good thing. And we've come to expect great things every time he plays. 3rd place and over $3.7 million for Amir Lehovot. And there you saw the hug between our 2 heads-up combatants, Jay Farber and Ryan Reese. Will go heads-up tomorrow on ESPN.
What's up? You want to go party now? Sure, it's still early.
And it will be a rather close battle. We saw Farber pulling away, but Reese with the 2 knockouts really has closed the gap.
We're done.
And we waited all night to see if one of these 2 big stacks was going to have to absorb a blow. Neither had to absorb a blow. Pretty smooth sailing. And the 2 20-somethings will play for the World Championship Tuesday night here on ESPN.
You going to go out, buddy?
A fascinating final table so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think that everybody played pretty good. We had some big hands, not too many crazy bluffs. And I don't think that anybody would have projected this to be the heads-up match going forward. But, you know, I think that Jay Farber really stepped up his game. He adjusted accordingly. And it's going to be a really good match tomorrow.
Boy, both guaranteed over $5.1 million. Here are the Wild Turkey payouts, and they came quickly here in the last half hour or so. Amir taking home almost over $3.7 million, and so now $5.1 million for second, $8.3 million. The gold bracelet, the title of world champion, will go to one of our 2 heads-up combatants, Amir Lehovot, saying his thank yous, getting his congratulations from Reese the Beast crowd. And you can see coming up tomorrow night on ESPN, 9 p.m. Eastern, coming your way from right here, the Penn and Teller Theater. We'll all be back. So will Ryan Reese. So will Jay Farber to crown a new world champion. So from the original field of 6,352, we began tonight with our final 9. And you see Farber on top, Reese in 2nd place. Millions have already been awarded, but the real big money and the impressive bracelet are yet to be won. And of course, everyone will be standing by. Will it be Jay Farber? Will it be Ryan Reese? Should be a lot of fun tomorrow.
It should be. I know all 3 of us are tired, but we really should go get a drink tonight, because if Jay Farber wins tomorrow, this town's going to run out of liquor by the time we get to the clubs.
So we saw a lot of fireworks early on in the Penn and Teller Theater. We saw a surprising big hand versus big hand. The chip leader went out early. Nobody expected that. Don't miss the conclusion of the final table tomorrow night on ESPN at 9 Eastern. Someone will leave with more than $8.3 million. For Norman Chad, Antonio Esfandiari, Kara Scott, Marianella Pereira, and Phil Hellmuth, thank you for watching. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Heads up tomorrow at 9 on ESPN.